Sit down, right there, don't go nowhere, little baby gon' shake that, 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 shit, yeah, I like that, bring that, right here, said sit down, right there, don't go nowhere, said yeah, I like that, bring that, right here, said sit down, right there, don't go nowhere.
Welcome back, we back with another reaction video, and today we're reacting to, what is it, Escaping Hollywood Hell. Lindsey Lohan barely survived. Did she survive? This is a Patrick CC video. Let's get right into it. Survive.
If there's one perfect example of a child star suffering the wrath of Hollywood hell, it's the story of Lindsey Lohan. From abusive parents, to mismanaging money, to being eviscerated by the press, to substance abuse, then her movies flopping while she experiences a very public downward spiral, she truly has experienced every element of the child star curse. Then again, her own inexcusable behaviors and reckless lifestyle have genuinely put her and others in danger. At some point, adults can't just blame their past for their current mistakes. When you learn Lindsey's story, you won't be sure to feel bad for her, hate her, or feel genuinely confused how her reality stretched so far from the redheaded 2000s pop culture queen. Lindsey's story begins just like most child stars. Everything is seemingly perfect to the public, but behind the scenes is an entirely different reality. Lohan grew up on Long Island, New York. At 3 years old, Lindsey's parents, Michael and Dina, thrusted their daughter into the spotlight and signed her to Ford Models, a prominent modeling agency based in Paris with several studios across the US. As a child model, Lindsey posed for brands like Calvin Klein Kids and Abercrombie. She also appeared in over 60 television commercials for brands like Pizza Hut and Wendy's, as well as a Jell-O spot with Bill Cosby. Not even old enough to attend kindergarten, Lindsey balanced work with a normal childhood that was unfortunately consumed by conflict, as her parents' on and off again relationship presumably made life more difficult for their 4 children. In particular, her father Michael had frequent run-ins with the law and served jail time in a stock fraud case when Lindsey was 4 years old. Lindsey's mother Dina detailed numerous horrific incidents of physical abuse and domestic violence she endured at the hands of Michael, including being R-worded by her own husband. Her mother said, "Lindsey saw her dad abuse me. That's why she's so screwed up." Michael vehemently
Why do y'all, what is the purpose of doing that? I don't understand it. Why would you assault your wife physically and, coitally? That's crazy. Why? What's wrong with it?
Denied all accusations, but you'll notice her father's behavior gets her in trouble throughout her career. Despite the conflict that pursued at home, Lindsey excelled in the workplace. In 1998, Lohan competed against more than 1,500 young actresses to book a lead role in the remake of the 1961 romantic comedy film, The Parent Trap. The film follows identical twin sisters who are separated at birth due to their parents' divorce. Each parent takes one of the twins to raise without informing the other twin of their existence. Throughout the film, the twins accidentally meet for the first time at a summer camp in Maine. Initially unaware of their relationship, they quickly realize they are sisters and devise a plan to switch places with the aim of reuniting their parents. Because the film revolved around identical twins, each actress submitted audition tapes for both roles. I don't know if I was alone here, but when I saw this movie as a kid, I genuinely thought these were...
I was gonna say the same thing, Patrick. I'm like, bro, I thought when I went, granted, it was when I was a jit. What I'm thinking in my head, she got a twin? Nigga, she hard.
For 2 different people. Her feature film debut in The Parent Trap not only showcased her potential as a leading actress, but earned her critical acclaim. Lohan did not just do her part alongside legendary actors like Dennis Quaid and Natasha Richardson. She excelled and received praise from critics for her performance. Her debut was a resounding success, and the film earned over $92 million at the worldwide box office. She was Hollywood's next child superstar. The film earned Lohan a Young Artist Award for Best Performance in a Feature Film, and a 3-film contract with Disney. The first film in her contract was another remake, more specifically a remake of the 1976 comedy film Freaky Friday. Freaky Friday centers around a mother and a daughter who magically swap bodies. Throughout the film, the pair are forced to live each other's lives. The mother has to navigate the complexities of high school. In contrast, the daughter must manage her mother's work responsibilities as a psychologist and prepare for her mother's upcoming wedding to her fiancé. Freaky Friday wasn't just a cult classic for 90s babies who grew up on Disney. It grossed over $160 million at the worldwide box office. It's also worth mentioning that Lindsey's aesthetic didn't match the typical bright-eyed, bushy-tailed Disney star. She had more of the alternative, Avril Lavigne-esque look that made her seem more mature, which made it easier to eventually break out of the child star chains. Lohan also decided to embark on the cliché child star to pop star career path. Piggybacking off the movie, she released her first single, Ultimate. She was becoming a product of the Disney pop star factory, executing the same promotional strategy of releasing her second single, Drama Queen, after her 2004 Disney comedy, Confessions of a Teenage Drama Queen. After these 3 films, she had already secured her legacy as a Disney icon and a beloved child star, but her next role as Katie Heron in Mean Girls stamped her place in cinema history, as this film is in contention for being one of the best high school movies of all time. Mean Girls follows Katie Heron, a teenage girl who moves to Illinois from Africa, where she has been homeschooled her entire life.
Why don't I know you?
Africa?
I'm new. I just moved here from Africa. What? So if you're from Africa,
I've seen clips.
why are you white?
She starts attending North Shore High School and is overwhelmed by the social dynamics and cliques. Katie is befriended by 2 social outcasts who teach her how to adapt to the school's social structure. She is also noticed by the Plastics, led by Regina George, for her good looks. The Plastics invite Katie to join their group, and Katie is encouraged to accept the invitation as a way to spy on the Plastics, break down their popularity, and expose their evil intentions to the whole school. Upon release, Mean Girls received positive reviews from critics, and although it was over-exaggerated, it did provide a somewhat realistic lens into the cruel and unapologetically mean behaviors and attitudes of high schoolers, and it definitely created quotable scenes that have lasted 2 decades.
I can't go out. I'm sick.
Boo, you whore.
The film was a massive commercial success, grossing over $130 million at the worldwide box office. Lohan won the award for Breakthrough Performance at the 2004 MTV Movie Awards, which she actually got to host.
I cannot believe I'm hosting the MTV Movie Awards. This is going to be so much fun. Oh yeah, these are my parents, Donald and Judy Lohan.
Hi, gang.
It is always so nice to meet Lindsey's friends.
MTV said they had to be here with me, since I'm not 18 yet.
She's the youngest host they've ever had.
Lindsey Lohan was on top of the world. At age 17, she was already doing cover shoots with headlines that read, "Why is America falling in love with Lindsey Lohan?" She even got to host Saturday Night Live. Lindsey was in the prime of her career, and although we probably remember her as being extremely popular and relevant for many years, her dominance only lasted roughly from 2003 to 2006 as her commercial success and public perception would start to spiral out of control. Her troubled household in New York seemed to reach a tipping point. Just before hosting the MTV Awards, her father, Michael Lohan, age 42, was accused of striking his brother-in-law, Matt Sullivan, at a First Communion party at the family's home in Merrick, New York. Her father was arraigned in First District Court in Hempstead on charges of second-degree assault and aggravated harassment. He maintains that Sullivan was drunk and responsible for the fight. A few days later, her father was due in a Manhattan courtroom to face similar charges in an unrelated case for allegedly beating up a city sanitation worker. That same month, Michael was arrested and charged with theft of services after allegedly skipping out on a $3,800 bill at a hotel. These incidents further placed a spotlight on Lindsey, who was unfairly held accountable for her father's actions. But in July of 2004, Lindsey officially turned 18 and moved to Los Angeles. Incidents further placed a spotlight on Lindsey.
Her family crisis. Dad's in and out of jail. Mom has a restraining order against him. How a teen star copes. Well, they're not putting the onus on her, my nigga. They just talking about this. Probably annoying.
who was unfairly held accountable for her father's actions. But in July of 2004, Lindsey officially turned 18 and moved to Los Angeles by herself. Instead of buying a house, she used her multi-million-dollar movie earnings to live in hotels, spending 1 year at the Hollywood Roosevelt, followed by 2 years and 2 suites at the Chateau Marmont. And these rooms cost hundreds, maybe thousands of dollars per night. She was easily spending upwards of $1 million per year to live in hotels. Lindsey said, "I didn't want to be alone, so whatever I needed, I could just go downstairs and there were people there." She now recognizes the unhealthiness of that. A combination of being a misguided teenager with millions of dollars while struggling with the trauma of her parents was a recipe for disaster. The early 2000s was also notorious for sexualizing young female stars.
A Brentian Medicine, a Brentian Medicine, a Brentian Medicine. The magic isn't happening.
I'm going to disagree with you.
1 month after her 18th birthday, she landed the cover of Rolling Stone with the headline, "Hot, Ready, and Legal." After she turned 18, she immediately began doing scantily clad photo shoots and being praised for her good looks. This was definitely a strange dichotomy because during all of this, she was filming her next big Disney film, Herbie Fully Loaded. It's safe to assume that Disney wasn't happy with her new adult image because they stopped working with her after this film. It's crazy to think that in the beginning of 2004, she was Disney's teenage drama queen, and by the end of 2004, she was GQ's cover girl. She quickly developed a bad girl persona, but it didn't seem like she was trying to escape her child role. It kind of seemed like the tabloids just gave her the persona and she just kind of ran with it. Right. Lindsey drove a $200,000 convertible Mercedes-Benz, had a rhinestone sidekick, always was stepping out with expensive bags, partied all night at the hottest clubs with Paris Hilton and her celebrity friends, had rendezvous with desirable older men in Hollywood like actor Wilmer Valderrama.
It's a video about this man being a weirdo. I just haven't cared to watch it because it's like, I used to love that 70s show. And this nigga was Handy Manny. Damn. It's crazy, right? Crazy work, right?
Lindsey was everything adolescent girls growing up in the 2000s wanted to be. Just looking at her fashion sense alone feels like you've been thrust into a time capsule back into the early 2000s. And she did not give off the vibe that she was trying too hard. She just had it factor. To compound her success, she released another single, Rumors, which peaked at number 6 on the Billboard Bubbling Under Hot 100 chart and would go on to sell 500,000 copies. Her debut album Speak would go on to receive a platinum certification. She was also the most popular star at a time where paparazzi and tabloid culture was at an all-time high. They swarmed her like flies everywhere she went, shouting random questions at her, trying to get her to slip up, hoping to capture just one frame of her looking disheveled or messy to have a cover story. One time she even crashed her car trying to escape the paparazzi, only for them to spin the narrative on her and blame her for driving recklessly, when it was actually a member of the paparazzi who crashed into her car trying to get a picture of her. Her physical health was deteriorating due to her chaotic life. She said, "I had no time to go to the dentist, but something happened with my tooth. The dentist had to come see me. It was just so much all the time."
I just got one question. How the hell is this paparazzi legal? Like, bro, I guess it's when they out in the public format. I mean, you can't really be like, yeah, no pictures, but can you really not say? Like, that's weird. You can't just take random pictures of me without my consent. And if you start violating my personal space and you get punched in your face, how is that my fault? I'm confused. I be feeling like Kanye right sometimes. Sometimes.
Then in October of 2004, Lindsey was hospitalized for 5 days for heat exhaustion, with a representative later revealing she had a kidney infection due to her being dehydrated and overworked. However, Lindsey often arrived late and exhausted to set because she spent so much time partying. In 2006, while working on the romantic comedy film Just My Luck in New Orleans, Louisiana, the tabloids captured Lohan at numerous bars and nightclubs after long days of filming. The film crew saw her partying in the papers and were frustrated with her performance on set. "I've never seen anything like this. She's making our lives hell. It's just not professional," one film crew member remarked. While working on the film, Georgia Rule, James G. Robinson, the chief of Morgan Creek Productions, wrote a letter to Lohan scolding her for her behavior. "You and your representatives have told us that your various late arrivals and absences from the set have been the result of illness. Today, we were told it was heat exhaustion. We are well aware that your ongoing all-night heavy partying is the real reason for your so-called exhaustion." News of her lousy behavior spread across the industry as many deemed her irresponsible and unprofessional. She lost out on several movie roles, including A Woman of No Importance and The Edge of Love. Tired of her addiction impacting her career, Lindsey entered a drug rehab program for the first time in January of 2007. During her 30-day stay at the Wonderland Center in LA, Lohan continued working on the film I Know Who Killed Me. Unfortunately, things only got worse on May 26, 2007, when Lindsey lost control of her Mercedes-Benz and struck a curb in Beverly Hills, California. She was promptly arrested on a misdemeanor drunken driving charge. Immediately, Lohan checked into the Promises Treatment Center in Malibu for her second visit to rehab. After her 45-day rehab stay, Lohan was voluntarily fitted with an alcohol monitoring bracelet. Just 2 weeks after checking out of rehab, a woman called Santa Monica police alleging that Lohan was trying to run her down with a car. The police arrested Lindsey once again and charged her with drunken driving, cocaine possession, and driving with a suspended license. It's also important to remember that even when she was attending AA meetings and attempting to do the right thing, she was still being hounded by paparazzi. Just look at them waiting for her after she leaves an AA meeting.
Get out of the way! Get out of the way! And then the other meeting. Okay. Riley yet?
Decency.
Come on, guys. Let her go!
In August 2007, Lindsey entered rehab for the third time but opted to go somewhere isolated instead, checking into the Cirque Lodge Treatment Center in Sundance, Utah. While in rehab, she pled guilty to misdemeanor cocaine use and driving under the influence. Lohan was sentenced to serve 1 day in jail along with 10 days of community service and 3 years of probation. She also had to pay a fine and enter an alcohol education program. By October, her stint in rehab was over. Despite being sentenced to 1 day in jail, she spent a measly 84 minutes in a Los Angeles County jail due to what the sheriff described as jail overcrowding. As if her legal trouble and reputation weren't bad enough, all of her films after 2007 either bombed commercially or received overwhelmingly negative reviews. Her career was almost at the point of no return and she had to get clean. In 2008, she managed to stay out of trouble. Well, besides saying this about Barack Obama.
I know you were a really big Obama supporter, so tell me what that night meant for you.
It was really exciting. It was such a, I mean, it's an amazing feeling. It's our first, co-president.
Paparazzi and gossip sites
I don't know. Maybe she just said color because she was trying to be PC. I don't know if she knew how to. I don't know. You could have said black though, shorty. You could have said African. I wouldn't say African American because Jesse Jackson made that up. But that's a whole nother thing. Like, I don't have time to get into that. But like, nah, you know what? She right. Colored. Because I was going to say the Afro-Indigenous. No, they didn't do that. You're right, colored. He got colored.
knew she was a ticking time bomb, and they did whatever they could to be the first to report it.
Hello, gorgeous! Lindsey, how you doing, gorgeous? Any thoughts about the image?
Hold up till I tell you, okay? Hold up. We're gonna go up right there.
Lindsey, my battery pack is going out.
We're gonna move her up.
Bro, I don't care.
All right, guys, you need to move. You need to move.
They were so desperate for a story that sometimes the story was that she was being swarmed by paparazzi. Check out this video where they follow her to her girlfriend's house at 6 a.m. and record them having an argument inside of their house.
So you've been partying all night, Lindsey? You gonna stalk Samantha right now?
You're disgusting. Stop it. Mind your own business.
Although it was her own behavior that was destroying her life, we can all agree that having invasive paparazzi waiting outside of your house and filming your private conversations would drive anyone crazy. They wanted to break her down for their own benefit, and that's exactly what would happen. In October of 2009, a Beverly Hills judge extended her probation because Lohan had not been attending her required alcohol counseling program. On May 20th of 2010, Lindsey, who had attended the Cannes Film Festival in France, missed a required court appearance claiming she had lost her passport. Although the judge issued an arrest warrant, it was withdrawn after Lohan's representative posted her $100,000 bail. The hearing was scheduled for July 6, where a judge ordered Lindsey to serve 90 days in jail for missing alcohol counseling sessions in violation of her probation. Lohan also had to spend 90 days in a drug and alcohol rehab program after her jail term ended. The video of her receiving her sentence and breaking down went viral.
30 days in jail on the first DUI case consecutive and 30 days in jail on the second DUI case consecutive. That's 90 days in jail. The court is also going to order Dr. Sharma or appoint Dr. Sharma and Malinak.
Photos later surfaced of her in court with the words "you" painted on her fingernails. On July 20th, Lindsey began her sentencing at the Linwood Correctional Facility, but would be released after less than 2 weeks behind bars. Her mugshot became an iconic pop culture moment as she would become
Shorty crying about 2 weeks? It went from 90 days to 2 weeks. But you get sober.
the original mugshot shawty. She began her court-ordered rehab only to be released after 23 days instead of the instructed 30. Less than a month later, Lindsey revealed to her supporters on Twitter that she failed a recent drug test but was working hard to overcome her drug addiction. Regrettably, I did in fact fail my most recent drug test, and if I am asked, I am prepared to appear before Judge Fox next week as a result. A probation report released later revealed that the drug test failure involved cocaine and amphetamines. Lohan returned to court on September 24th, where the judge ordered the preliminary revocation of her probation. Lindsey seemed defeated as deputies cuffed her hands behind her back and walked her out of the Beverly Hills courtroom. She'd be thrown in jail again, but was released that night after another judge overturned the decision and granted a $300,000 bail. Are you noticing a pattern here? Less than a month later, Lindsey...
But she didn't pay $10K, $30K, another $10K, bro. I'm not paying this much bail, bro. I just stayed in there, bro. You realize if you stay in there and you don't know nobody, and you could possibly get sober in there, like you tripping.
Lindsey reportedly visits the Kamofi and Company jewelry store, where she walks out with a necklace valued at $2,500 around her neck before a store clerk calls the police to report it missing. Upon investigation, one of Lohan's associates hands the necklace to the police, resulting in Lindsey being charged with felony grand theft. On April 22nd, 2011, Lohan spent 5 hours in custody before posting a $75,000 bail after being sentenced to 120 days in jail for violating her drunken driving probation by being charged with theft. She's also ordered to perform 480 hours of community service. However, her theft charge is reduced to a misdemeanor. I know I sound like a broken record, and I could keep detailing her arrests because there are so many more, but most of them involve her violating her probation by failing drug tests or not showing up to court hearings, and then whenever she would eventually get to court, she would get sentenced and then somehow magically bail herself out, get out of doing jail time, or get out of doing community service somehow. Rinse and repeat that process multiple times per year. She lost her appeal to the public. She was only 26 years old but looked like she had aged a decade. Lindsey claims that she kept gossip sites in business.
I'm an actress, a singer, an entrepreneur, and I've single-handedly kept 90% of all gossip websites in business.
This can't be a real commercial. And if it was a real commercial, I'm glad I don't watch TV anymore. The hell?
Really, it was the other way around. The only reason she maintained a presence in pop culture at this time was because her never-ending criminal history was easy news coverage, and her attempted return to the spotlight in 2012 just further cemented that her career in Hollywood was finished. Lohan hosted Saturday Night Live in March of 2012 for the second time in her career. Throughout the episode, she made several self-deprecating references to her personal troubles that makes people laugh, but it's not like her performance was screaming a comeback was about to happen. In 2012, Lindsey starred as Elizabeth Taylor in the biographical television film Liz and Dick. During production, paramedics were called to Lohan's hotel room, where they treated her for exhaustion and dehydration. The film premiered on the Lifetime cable channel in November 2012. While the premiere garnered 3.5 million views, Lindsey's performance, as did the film, received largely negative reviews. Throughout 2013, she made forgettable appearances in throwaway projects like Scary Movie 5 and The Inappropriate Comedy. Or she received lead roles in minor projects like the thriller drama film The Canyons. Unable to revive her Hollywood career, Lindsey strategically created an 8-part docuseries, Lindsey, on Oprah Winfrey's own cable network. The show intended to provide an unfiltered look at Lindsey's life as she transitioned from rehab to her daily routines, aiming for a fresh start. It attempted to document her struggles to stay sober, reestablish her acting career, and repair her public image. And these types of programs usually work. People feel bad for celebrities as they discuss their deepest vulnerabilities on camera for millions to criticize. They're so brave for doing that, people usually say. But it didn't work for Lindsey. The ratings for this docuseries dropped substantially with each episode, as Variety described the series as boring, claiming that Oprah and Lohan were using each other for content.
Are you an addict?
Yeah.
And what is it you are addicted to? What is your drug of choice or drugs of choice?
Trash.
Alcohol.
Alcohol.
Yeah.
Don't get me wrong. I know it's a lot of people that's addicted to the bottle, bro. But like, it's just trash, though. Like, what does it do? It's trash, though. Like, bro, 75% of alcohol tastes horrible. Then, even if it does taste good, bro, it's like, nigga, you gonna feel horrible after. No. I'll tell you what did to that. That's horrible. You gonna gain weight off this, all type of, like, bro, no.
Because that in the past was a gateway to other things for me.
Other things like?
I'd never abused, I tried cocaine with alcohol. And I'd never
That's
done
when
those
you were
things
arrested the
without
first
my
time,
drink.
correct?
Yeah,
Yes,
I had it.
possession.
Since she was a tabloid queen for years, nobody was interested in seeing her make a comeback.
Aren't you supposed to be in rehab now?
Do you not watch anything that goes on?
I
Are you
do.
a tabloid now?
Now here's what
May 2nd.
I was under the May 2nd.
Yes.
And how long will you be in rehab?
3 months.
How many times have you been in rehab?
Several.
Did you stay?
And how will this time be different? What are they rehabbing, first of all? What is on their list? What are they going to work on when you walk through the door?
Like it's an ACL tear.
We didn't discuss this in the pre-interview.
No.
Her career in Hollywood was officially over, and the tabloids only wanted to bring her down even more. An infamous sex list was leaked that featured 36 A-list stars that Lindsay Lohan allegedly hooked up with, including...
Did that shit just say Danny Green?
And the tabloids only wanted to bring her down even more. An infamous sex list was leaked...
Wilmer. I can't read that. Ryan Ratman. Damn, recipe of Heath Ledger. Ain't no way Heath Ledger cracked that. Ashton.
Leaked that featured...
Jamie Burke. James Franco hit. Adam Levine.
36 A-list...
Who the hell is Petey Wright? Who that? Josh Mond. Who that? No, it says Danny Cipriani. Maggio Cipriani. Nigga, she done double dipped to hit the family tree up. That's crazy.
Stars that Lindsay Lohan allegedly hooked up with, including Ashton Kutcher, Joaquin Phoenix, Justin Timberlake, Adam Levine, and many others. Lindsay later admitted that the list was real.
That was actually my 5th step in AA on Money Forward. And someone, when I was moving during the OWN show, must have taken a photo of it. And so that's a really personal thing. Wow. And it's really unfortunate.
Feeling absolutely defeated by the Hollywood hellscape, Lindsay randomly moved to Dubai for privacy in an attempt to rebuild her life. Paparazzi is illegal in Dubai, so she doesn't have to worry about getting followed by cameras. Lindsay spent the next few years detached from the spotlight, focusing more on her newfound religious views as she studied and considered converting to Islam. But even more rumors spurred that she was a high-class escort, and it didn't help that in 2013 her own father was quoted saying that she is getting paid to date rich men. According to the reports, these dates last for several days and the men shower her with lavish gifts like jewelry. Since Lindsay was living in Dubai, which is notorious for yachting conspiracies, where women subject themselves to disgusting sex acts for insanely wealthy men, plus being photographed cozied up with much older men, along with her failed career and bottomless legal expenses and potential drug habit, gossip sites were convinced that she was a high-class hooker, and that's how she maybe maintained her lifestyle. But disappearing to Dubai worked. Nobody was talking about Lindsay anymore. Nobody was harassing her. It was now 2017, over 10 years since Mean Girls, and we had witnessed countless child stars rise and fall. She started appearing in the news again around 2017 and 2018, attention, but only for extremely strange controversies. Like in February of 2017, when airport security asked her to take off her headscarf while going through security, to which she claimed to have been racially profiled. She said, "I was flying to..."
Racially profiled, shorty. You're built like a glass of milk. What? What? Shouldn't you say culturally profiled? Religiously profiled? Wouldn't that have been closer? What the racially profiled? Right.
In New York recently, I was wearing a headscarf and I got stopped and racially profiled for the first time in my life. Obviously, people ran with the narrative that a privileged white actress claimed to be racially profiled, but to give her the benefit of the doubt, she was trying to say that she has a deeper understanding of Arab women who are judged or unfairly profiled for their culture. She just kind of chose her words wrong. She also gained a lot of media attention for her fake accent.
You understand the Muslim Islamic culture. You understand that life is bigger than everything that we see. Americans are very close-minded in that sense. This is just me holding it with me walking, going. Whereas the paparazzi may be across the street, I didn't know. And they crucified me for it in America. They made me seem like Satan.
While most...
I don't have a problem with the accent if it's truly authentic to where she is, right? Like if that's how the people around you talk and that's how the circle around you talks, you're probably naturally gonna pick up on like the twang. So I don't have a problem with it. Proceed.
Most people were making fun of her for being cringe or accusing her of cultural appropriation. Psychologists say otherwise. She is making herself as the person with whom she is speaking with, Kulesa said. Why do we do it? Liking is not the only goal. Mimicry imitating behavior is described as unconscious tendency to create bonds with others, a social glue which bonds us to other people. It seems it is imprinted in our nature. Lindsey garnered even more negative attention in October 2017 when she publicly defended former film producer Harvey Weinstein amid his Me Too allegations.
Oh, what?
Hi, this is Lindsey Lohan. Hi, I'm in Dubai. I'm home. And I feel very bad for Harvey Weinstein right now. I don't think it's right what's going on. I think Georgina needs to take a stand and be there for her husband. And he's never harmed me or done anything wrong to me. We've done several movies together. And so I think everyone needs to stop. I think it's wrong. So stand up.
You know, when a drunk Lindsey Lohan is defending you, you've hit rock bottom. Someone tell her he's not a producer anymore.
God.
He can't give her a job. But then something even weirder happened when she went live on Instagram and tried to steal a homeless woman's children after they refused her help.
So I want you to tell America what you need, and I will get it for you. Yalla khabiti wallah. Alhamdulillah.
She then proceeds to demand that the children come with her and sleep in her hotel with them for the evening.
You cold? You want to come with me? Come with me.
I don't know you.
Come. Come. I'll take care. Let me take care of you guys. Do you want to stay in a hotel tonight?
Oh.
Do you want to watch movies? Yeah, Yanni. Let me take him for the night. Let him stay for the night.
What?
One night.
I'm staying with my mama.
For about 5 minutes straight, she tries to convince this mother to release her kids to Lohan, but the mother refuses. So Lindsey begins to start shaming the mother.
And you should be doing what you do for your children so they have a better life.
Eventually, the family begins to get up and Lindsey attempts to forcibly grab the children. After they refuse and walk away, she proceeds to follow them and labels them Syrian refugees who are trafficking children.
What? Wouldn't you be able to tell from the child's body language? I'm confused. Like, maybe she could be right in some weird ass reality, but I don't think so. Like, what are you talking about? She said, yeah, they're refugees. They're trafficking. Huh? You're off your meds. Get back on them.
You excited? Let's go. Honey, wait. No.
Excited?
Shoes first. Let's go. Get up. What are you doing? Get up. Guys, you're going the wrong way. My car's here. Come.
I'm not jumping in your
Look
V.
what's happening. They're trafficking children. Mashallah. I won't leave until I take you. Now I know who you are. This is not Arab. You're ruining Arab culture by doing this. Mashallah. You're taking these children. They want to go. I'm with you. I'm with you. I'm with you. Boys, don't worry. The whole world is seeing this right now.
I guess it seems like her heart was in the right place, but it's odd that she would assume a mother would just give her children up to a stranger. And while most people expected Lindsey to just fade into her irrelevance, live her life in the Middle East, and only pop up when she has random, strange controversies, she actually made an unexpected comeback. MTV gave her a reality show because their network was on the brink of shutting down and they were grasping at straws trying to get views. Lindsay Lohan's Beach Club focuses on Lindsey as she manages her new beach club in Mykonos, Greece, and follows the lives of the staff hired to work there. During the filming of this show, she went viral for her dancing on stage at a bar, which became a trend on social media coined the #DoTheLilo challenge. This was the most positive press she received in years. She also became a panelist on the Australian edition of The Masked Singer. Lohan was slowly introducing herself back into the mainstream media and seemed much healthier than she had been in the past couple of years. She got a huge lucky break when the biggest network in present-day media, Netflix, approached her to star in one of the studio's annual Hallmark Christmas films. In May of 2021, Netflix announced Lindsey's major return to acting by starring in a Christmas romantic comedy about a spoiled heiress who loses her memory following a skiing incident. She spends the holidays cared for by a down-on-his-luck widower and his daughter. Falling for Christmas was Lindsey's first time starring in a lead role for a major production in several years. For the first time in a long time, Lohan appeared in a magazine not to discuss her troublesome past, but to promote a film she felt passionate about helping create. Rolling Stone called Falling for Christmas a formulaic film that reminds audiences what made Lohan a movie star in the first place. After the release, the filmmakers talked about working with Lohan, saying, "She's such an amazing actress and comedian, and it was really fun working with her. She's really prepared and very professional," along with landing a number of magazine covers. In March of 2022, Lohan reportedly signed a deal to star in 2 more films for Netflix. That same month, Lindsey announced her pregnancy in an Instagram post with the caption, "We are blessed and excited." Lindsey and her husband welcomed their son in July of 2023. The first film of Lohan's 2-picture deal with Netflix was the romantic comedy Irish Wish, where the director also spoke highly of her work ethic. She is very involved in the story and is really communicative. She's really easy to work with that way. She seems to be taking her comeback seriously this time, and putting in the work to prepare her reputation. Lohan's second upcoming film with Netflix, Our Little Secret, is scheduled to release for the holidays of 2024, while Disney Pictures announced a sequel for Freaky Friday where Lohan and Jamie Lee Curtis would reprise their roles from the 2003 film. Despite the complications with her family, including briefly cutting contact with her father, Lindsey revealed that she's on good terms with both of her parents, and in July of 2023 the family gathered for the first time in the last 7 years. In the past few years, people have become more empathetic and understanding of how unfairly treated child stars were. At one point, they were making headlines and being crucified for stupid mistakes that any teenager would make. In Lindsey's case, she was thrown into acting at age 3, raised by an extremely complicated family with a father who was constantly in and out of jail, and allegedly abusive. Compound that with the insane paparazzi following her everywhere, prying at her hoping for a single slip-up. It will drive anyone mad, and it's clear that all of that led to her addiction, which took a huge toll on her life. And addiction is a complicated disease, a disease that many people pass judgment on to others, but it takes a lifetime to fight. Now, as far as her relationship with the Saudi crown prince and what was going on in the Middle East, who knows? But we can only hope that her intentions were genuine and be grateful that she seems to be happy, healthy, and back on the right track.
So yeah, that was a good video. Lindsey Lohan actually survived. So that answered my question in the beginning. Like I didn't know what was going on with Lindsey. I didn't know she was alive. I don't be knowing. But good to see that she's healthy. Got a kid. It's tough. Married. Tough. Seems like she grew up. Waited till like 30s, 40s, but she grew up. Like some of these, I feel like some of these child stars don't get a chance to grow up, and that be the main problem, right? Like they don't get to be kids for real, so they do all their acting out and rebellious when they're in their 20s, damn near. Like, huh? like, huh? What's wrong with you? But I mean, and then sooner or later, if they survive all of the bulls, they tighten up. That's what you hope. Only hoping that a person get a second chance. Hopefully, well, as you can see, Lindsey's actually taking advantage of hers. So I mean, that's a good video. That is the end. So make sure you like, comment, subscribe, share the video. Also, share your thoughts on the video in the comment section below. Hit the notification bell so you can stay up to date when I drop videos on this channel. I will catch you in the next one. Stay safe, y'all.
I'm a cowboy, can't stop me, ain't to live is to come. All this pain got me feeling accomplished. See, this can't turn me into a monster. Hey, I'm a cowboy, can't stop me, to live is to come. All this pain got me feeling accomplished. See, this can't turn me into a monster. I'm a cowboy, can't stop, can't stop. Hey, all that pain got me feeling jaded. Many to roll in the making, still plugged into the mix. But lagging out before the update. Drop back in, different time, same location.